But do you think that this is something abnormal? In 1980s, in the early 80s, for example, when UMNO have problem internally, especially when Tengku Razali challenged Dr. Mahathir, there were party leaders, senior leaders outside the party. I mean, outside, not holding position, but they continue to make their views known. For example, Dato' Harun during those times, Tunku Abdurrahman during those times, Tun Hussein On during those times. They continue to speak. To me, this is not something that is new. And also, people like to go back to people who already, sort of retire from politics and start asking their opinions. And then, of course, now with the media, the new media, and so on and so forth, their views are better known. I mean, they have better access to people to express their views. So this thing will go on. And then there are elements of, for example, Tun Mahathir. Tun Mahathir have friends around him. They have his former cabinet ministers, for example. Then those people who are no longer holding any party position or position in the government, they still have the liberty to say something about government. So I think that's something very, very normal. If you compare to, during Mahathir's time, I think those days are far, far worse. Except that during Mahathir's time, you don't have the new media. It's very limited. Even if you speak, it will not be spread so fast and will not reach so many people as what we experience today. That's the only difference. But in terms of those senior party leaders who continue to give views, sometimes not necessarily in support of government, they give different opinion. I think this is something that has been going on for many, many years. But I think they should be removed. In fact, they should have been removed earlier. As simple as that. They know that. I think the rules is very simple. Those positions were appointed positions. They serve at the pleasure of those who have appointed them. The Chief Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, there must be certain degree of discipline. What do you expect if the Deputy Prime Minister or the Chief Minister start going around and hammering the leadership in public? I think Dato' Najib has been too tolerant. You must not allow such thing to happen, not only before, but even in future. I would like to see the leadership, but through a consensus, we in the Supreme Council decided to tolerate him. We even disagree that he should face a disciplinary action, knowing very well what he did is something that already breached the discipline. For some junior party members, we take action swiftly. But for the Deputy President, we spare him, we give him the benefit of the doubt. But when he continued to do that, so I think it's not fair for the President to have a deputy who is not helping him. In the early 80s, when people want to remove Dr. Mahathir, they will say, without Dr. Mahathir, the party will be stronger. I was with Tengku Razali when Tengku Razali decided to challenge against Mahathir. And Tengku Razali believed if Mahathir is not around in 1986, then Malaysia would be better, the economy would be better, the country would be better. So this is something which I've heard time and again. But one thing for sure, whoever becomes the president of UMNO, there will be people who are within the party that want to take over his position, and also outside the party who want to pull him down. And I still remember when Tun Mahathir told me, he said, why people attack me? Because I'm the president of UMNO. If I'm not the president of UMNO, they'll become very friendly with me, then they will attack my successor or whoever in the seat of president of UMNO. I still remember until today. So that's why, for one reason, whenever my party chief, my party president is under attack, for one, I choose to defend. I choose to defend because I believe this is a teamwork. I hold to what Dr. Mahathir preached. He preached. He teaches us to be loyal to the party. He teaches us to work as a team. He teaches us that the institution of president is very important. People want to remove one person not because of that particular person, but because they want to weaken the entire party. So the same rules when Pak La took over. Pak La was very successful in 2004 election. But the same Pak La, within a short period of time, 2 years later, he begins to have problems. Why? Because maybe the first 4 years when Pak La took over from Tun Mahathir, there is the ammunition, the guns, the sword, everything does not injure him. But after some time, he become more and more vulnerable. Again, if the party do not have the courage and strength to defend your leaders, then nobody will survive. When we remove Pak La, we thought we put Datuk Sri Najib there, then problem will be solved. But we have even bigger problem. And now people say party will be stronger if you don't have Datuk Sri Najib and then let somebody else handle. To me, that is just a trick. But just a trick. By doing that, UMNO will be weakened and will be wiped out from the Malaysian politics.